Hey everybody, Dr. Dave Marquis here, and I had some things that I wanted to share with you about eye exercises. Our eyes innervate 80% of our cortex. That's a lot of territory, and when you think about all the things that the brain does, that gives you an 80% chance of tapping into all the things that the brain does through doing eye exercises. Pretty cool, right? So what are the different eye exercises that an individual might do, and why might somebody do those? Well, there's three predominant movements that the eyes go through that you can break down into specific exercises. One is called a pursuit, and that's simply the eye going from point A to point B. The next one is called a saccade. That's the eye quickly going back to point A again. And then the last one has to do with convergence and divergence. So the eye is focusing in on something and then letting go again. That's really it. Those are the three main categories. Those movements, as I said, are directed by 80% of the cortex, which means that each of the lobes of the brain play a role in allowing the eyes to do those things. For example, if an individual has a hard time focusing, their attention is really distracted, they can do things in the convergence mode of eye exercises to allow their frontal lobe to become more active. Or let's say they have a hard time remembering a face with a name, or they get distracted while they're reading and they lose the content that they're trying to absorb. Well, you can do pursuits and saccades because those activities actually fire up your frontal lobe and your temporal lobe and your cerebellum all simultaneously. So you get all this interlobal activity, and the more that we fire things together, neurologically speaking, the more we have the capacity to wire together. That's a common term in neurological circles. Things that fire together, wire together. And the more that you can do that, the more bandwidth you're creating, and the more bandwidth you have, the more capacity you have. So that's the basic principle in its simplest form, truly. It goes so much deeper. But I wanted to show you how to do three different types of exercises. The first one that we're going to start with is convergence. Now, as long as you have a set of thumbs, you'll understand this principle at home. What you're going to do is you're just going to take one thumb in front of you, and then you're going to take the other one out in front of that. So I'm going to turn sideways now so you can see I got two thumbs just like that. Now, if you're focusing on your first thumb, your second thumb out there should look like there's two of them, because your focus is on this thumb. And so it allows for this presentation or appearance of two thumbs on your other hand. Now, you know you don't have two thumbs on your other hand, but what you're going to do is you're going to go between those two and allow the eyes to converge and then diverge. There's tools for this so that you can extend that exercise and actually increase the difficulty level. And there's one tool that I commonly use, and they're called Brock beads. You can get these, you can make them. Basically, you just need a string and some beads. But they're also available on different online resources if you just look up Brock beads. And what you do with this is very similar to what I just showed you with the thumbs. You'll just take that, and you're going to focus on the first bead with this thing right up against your nose, and you should see two beads out here where I'm looking at that green bead now. And as I focus on the green bead, I see two yellow beads. And as I change my focus downstream, you get the idea. It should look like you're always seeing two beads downstream, and then you work it backwards. You'll notice that your eyes actually get a little bit fatigued in this process. That's usually when you want to stop. You want to stop at the sign of first fatigue so that the brain can learn that skill, then go on to something else. So each of the eye exercises that I'm going to show you are useful for a variety of purposes in training the brain to work better and elevate its performance. Some of the things that you could expect to get out of that are going to be improved balance, focus, memory, a variety of different things that you can accomplish simply by using your eyes. I hope that's a useful tool for you. Enjoy the activity. Don't let yourself get too fatigued by it. The brain actually learns best in bite-sized pieces. Have fun with that.